Hello and welcome, everyone. We are doing a brief D&D 5e one-shot, homebrewed and hedonistic and hilarious and magical and fun. The Interplanar Heist. This is a rescue mission for one of our characters, and we'll see if we can interweave the multiverse in a way so that no one dies or goes insane. You know, stuff happens. My name is Michael. I'll be trying to stick handle this crazy, amazing shenanigans today. We've got Quash here today. Who are you playing? And tell us about yourself.
My name is Kwashi. I will be playing Shael, but most people will call her either Sue or Suan. She is responsible for getting our dear friend back after he kind of lost herself. I was approached by this tentacle-ish monster, which I guess would be in my dreams, and now I am obligated, or rather being threatened, into going and getting him back.
Excellent. And Pie Guy, hello. Tell us about your character and how she found herself so badly stuck.
E.
He's a giant juggernaut. I'm playing Hammer, a giant juggernaut of a warforged who unfortunately had the horrible situation of being thrown into a bag of holding that went inside of a bag of holding, and so he got black holed, sucked into a different realm, and now to get out, my patron, a good old Kraken buddy, is contacting good old Shell to, dear God, save my life.
Exactly. And follow-up question for you, Pie Guy. What is Hammer doing like at the moment? Whatever the present moment would be. Obviously, time is flexible because we're playing with the multiverse here. But what would he be doing in the present moment?
I genuinely think the last time I left off with Hammer is he was looking for a boat to sail the seas of Sigil.
Looking for boat, LFB. Okay, great. And this would be a boat to sail over the sands and fires of the elemental plane of fire, not like a water boat, correct?
He would be looking for anything boat related. He's a pirate. He wants to sail some sort of sea.
So airship, regular boat, inverted boat, something boaty.
Something boaty.
Got it.
Boaty.
Something to
Okay.
Something to connect him in a sense to his patron.
Okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense because that would be representative of the connection. Oh, that's very cool. Okay. And to wind back a bit for our listeners, we were exploring what Shael was doing in Medusa's Smile, which is the town where she's based, and she just made a really good Arcana roll, getting a 24, sensing there's a little bit of a thread that she's aware of from a recent experience with a mind flayer. And if you don't mind, Kwashi, I was going to run with the excellent prose you laid down a little while ago. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So as Suan stands on the beach of Medusa's Smile, lightning breaks through the sky, thunder shakes the eardrum of everyone nearby, and the lone wizard, unfazed by it all, just gazing at the maddening mass of sea, of salt and foam. From the swirling mass, a figure appears, its red eyes the only solid thing in the tempest's chaos. It speaks no threats, for it needs none. Its power slides down the skin of every beast and humanoid as the storm rages. These two figures eye each other. Two worlds clash. Who knows how this ends? And Shael feels some of these threads start to coalesce. Echoes from being in a presence of a mind flayer that have tuned her in to the chronosphere in a way that she has not yet before. And from this vision, from this creature of unfathomable complexity, a message comes through. Kwashi, what would that message be that Hammer is saying? Lay it out for us.
I guess it would be best that Hammer does it, I guess, because it's his character. I don't know.
Are you okay with that, Pie Guy?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of message would it be?
I think that would this be coming from me, or is this like me through to my patron, or is this my patron through to him?
I'm okay with either. I think it's more fun for reasons later that it's your voice through your patron. But if you think it makes more sense for Hammer that it's the patron exactly, he could be paraphrasing your words if you wish.
Okay.
So I'll leave that to your decision.
I think while trying to find a boat, all this stuff happens. Hammer contacts his patron. His patron kind of, says, "Let me do my work. Let me get a guy." Um, and then Hammer would speak through the message. In a sense, um, have you ever seen those movies where it's like a big villain or a big creature and someone is speaking their own voice through that creature to like amplify the danger or threat?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. So it's kind of Hammer's voice coming through his patron,
Nice.
and it would essentially be offering the power of his patron in return of freeing Hammer and sending him back to his actual realm where he can continue uh, doing, warlock things like you do.
The power
And
of
as
okay, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go.
And she's just gonna be thinking, patron power, huh? Something deep and evil, something that I could control. Well, not really control, but get access to. Would
Mhm.
be very nice. I guess I'll take it.
And as Shael is on the beach there watching as the lightning continues to strike, the message repeats. Not It's not like Hammer is continuing to speak, but like it's on a loop of some kind. So it starts over at the beginning, an offering of power, a description of the patron, come rescue him, that he's in sigil, and it kind of cuts off again, and then it starts to repeat a third time. Make me an Arcana check with advantage, because this is relating to magic that you might understand.
Magic.
Nice. You don't even need that advantage,
Wow.
but you can roll again if you want to choose. If you want to potentially go higher,
No, I
Nah.
think he'll
you have
take
to choose a 23.
yeah, I think he'll take the first roll.
Yeah, I think that
Yes,
makes sense.
true.
So one of your abilities as a chronomancer is to be able to shift and bend time and rewind a little bit, in the way of having someone re-roll a die mechanically.
Yeah.
And you suspect that there's a similar magical energy with wherever this character of Hammer is trapped. You think it's indicative that it's looping. So it's not just the message is looping, but something about Hammer's situation is kind of stuck in loop. And as the message continues to loop, you see that the figure, this large, strange, shadowy figure, is starting to both shrink and also to advance slightly. It's getting a little bit closer, a little bit smaller as it comes towards you, and you see the seas in front of you where the surf is. The waves immediately in front of you start to slow down. The surf still crashes.
Hello? Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Hello?
Did we lose him?
Yeah, I was thinking. Because I was wondering if I cut out. Let's see.
Michael, I think you cut out. I think we lost you. Don't go towards the light. Don't go towards the light.
Let's try a different connection. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. What did you last hear?
Surf crashing against.
Sea slowing down, the tide slowing down, it's crashing.
All right. So as it continues to slow down, the surf just in front of Shael slows down so much it almost solidifies. So if you reach forward with your foot, like it's almost solid, though the waves on either side are still crashing as normal, and this mysterious figure with its eyes glowing and lightning crashing behind it is coalescing as it shrinks and comes closer toward you. So now it's maybe, 3 meters tall or so. So it's not this giant form anymore. It's a little bit smaller. And it seems to be slowly coming towards you as the water in front of you stops as if frozen in time. What do you do?
I guess that he is coming towards me,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of like back off a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but not running away exactly.
Got it. Any spell or action you want to take to learn more or to understand what's happening here?
I think I have a spell for that.
Oh,
I
look at that.
use. Where is it? I had it.
The spell.
Oh, this is an old one. Can I just do something? Because this was an old child.
Yeah, of course.
The spell is called
Yeah, 'cause-
Instantly Know Everything Possible.
Yeah, it was Detect Thoughts, but I forgot this one was like the level 5.5 or level 6 one, and I forgot that I had leveled her up and gotten new spells. Give me a second. Yeah,
Sure, but
yeah, Detect Thoughts is what I was doing. Could you delete the other Shael so I could just don't get confused?
Yes.
The time magic
And I will-
has fused, and we've broken the timeline, so there's 2 Shaels.
So I'll delete the one in
Exactly.
the characters folder, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Delete.
And
Bye.
Bye. And I will input the other Shael. But for now, we'll just say that she basically cast Detect Thoughts because that's what she did.
Okay,
That's a
and let
spell
me
that-
just look at the phrasing of Detect Thoughts. I have my PHB here. Handy dandy.
Handy
Do,
dandy
do, do.
book.
Best book ever, right?
Someone,
Yeah.
you know what? You ran the Scooby-Doo. You should run a Blue's Clues game.
Oh god, that would be funny. No, folks, la la la. As an action, you can probe deeper. Okay, great. La 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 la. Questions, presence of thinking creatures. Okay, that's all golden. So you immediately get the sense of a multiplicity of personality. Like there is so much depth of thought here. If you plunged into it headlong, it might overwhelm you. So this is clearly a manifestation of several nodes of thought and reality that have come together into one. Being is even not quite the right word. It's like a congruent, a superposition of different realities that happen to occupy the same point in the space-time continuum incongruously. One of those thoughts within your Detect Thought spells does shine a little brighter, a little bit more clear. And it's indeed this looping verbal message you heard from the Hammer character, but you can see a little bit more. And imagining a visual component to Detect Thoughts, if you don't mind the abstraction, you can almost see a little bit of where this person is, like an image inhabiting the form of the strange creature. Do you want to use your action to probe deeper, which is one of the things the spell can do?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Let's also have you make a charisma saving throw for reasons.
Okay.
And this is where the adventure immediately ends because Shael goes insane.
Yeah. 6. I need to take off that thing.
Okay, so you're going to take a little bit of psychic damage. It's okay. It's all right. So you feel, well, it's only 2 damage. It's fine. You take just 2 psychic damage. So you feel as you were gazing into the abyss, it gazed back into you. So whatever the encasing omnipotence of this strange form is, it's trying to flex its psychic energy through your body, which is kind of unpleasant. One of your hands like just kind of spasms as if you were going to cast Eldritch Blast, but it caught you off guard. So instead of casting Eldritch Blast, you just kind of like singed your hand a little bit. But seems, as a wizard, you've heard of what warlocks do, and it's like the patron was like testing you out, like, hey, here's a mortal, let's see what it can do. Poke. But as you use your action to probe deeper, the vision you see into this other space expands and starts to coalesce a little bit. You see this figure of Hammer going throughout their day, and if you watch long enough, eventually you see him come back to the same starting position. So the very start of the scene is him looking for a boat, for example. Other activities happen, which we will describe in a minute. And then after, let's say, 5 or 6 minutes, he's back in the same spot looking for a boat again. So there's again that sense of looping and of superposition. But you feel if you concentrate enough magical power, you could make a wedge here in this image of this other space and insert yourself into it, either in body or just in your sort of astral form. So I'm borrowing some of the like planar travel mechanics here. So you can either choose to kind of like astral project yourself and leave Shile's body like sitting on the dock in Medusa's Smile, or you can just jump in. It's fine.
I guess jumping in would be more fun, so I'll take that one.
Yay! Have some inspiration for taking the riskier but way more fun option. So our first scene closes with Shael tumbling through this portal towards the city of Sigil. Okay, and we have, in case you haven't guessed it, part of the challenge and surprise I have for you is Shael helping Hammer escape a time loop. So we have the first beat of the time loop, which is looking for a boat. We will resolve to what extent that's successful in play. Because I think it's fun to get from different ideas from different players. Quashi, what would be another activity or challenge or problem that might happen in Sigil that Hammer could fix, like in the space of a day? Like an accident being prevented, or a brief combat, or an encounter. What might be something he would encounter in his day in Sigil?
Sigil is more of an urban area, so I'm guessing. Let's see what will happen.
Hit me with it.
I think. Oh, I have a perfect one. There are some thieves who have been stealing some magic items from, a museum. I guess that would be the idea. They were artifacts that were right. They were artifacts that were brought in, but they were very expensive, and a certain number of a number of magic infused thieves decided that they would steal certain objects. One in particular would be a crystal that basically offers a portal into the Faerun. So I think that would be a good one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm becoming the Indiana Jones of Sigil.
Yes.
Exactly.
I guess the idea would be since we were playing it off as if at one point you were getting people to join the cult of the Foundless Warlock. I just imagine you were just busy doing that, and all of a sudden you just see a bunch of them just run out, and you just decided to follow, and that's
those belong in a museum.
That's very good impression. Okay, I love that as our third beat. We have magical thieves. They're trying to steal several items, one of which is a crystal that gives a portal to the Feywild. There's other things they may steal that I'll sprinkle in. Mwahaha. And for a third kind of mini scene, Pie Guy, what do you think would be another challenge or a beat that we might have in our day in Sigil here?
Well, other than Indiana Jonesing it up and trying to find a boat, I can say with confidence that Hammer would most definitely be trying to gain the influence of his patron in this plane, in this realm, and in a sense try and set up a foothold for his patron to kind of more or less gain power in Sigil, so that if for whatever reason Hammer ever comes back here, he has the power, the full power of his patron within the city.
Got it. Now, would that relate to finding a location in Sigil that is conducive to connect with the patron, or is this a ritual? What goes into this, finding a foothold?
It probably would be a ritual to fully contact the patron. Maybe set up a shrine somewhere where no one's gonna destroy it, or recruiting others to the cause of the great and mighty Fathomless to join his cause and set up a foothold and get others to worship the many tentacled god.
Okay, great. I can get behind that. I'm going to add, or see if you're okay with this, Egyptian Pie Guy, that since you've been, like, prior to this day that we're playing out as the three of us, you've been in Sigil for some time, so I think it's reasonable to assume you've found accommodation somewhere. Yes?
Yeah.
I think I'd like to add that's reasonable to assume that maybe you found a small part of the city that no one goes to often. Maybe it's a forgotten dried up fountain, or it's a little courtyard that dead ends, like a spot where you might do this ritual and make an altar. Are you okay with that suggestion?
I am perfect with that.
Okay. Any kind of flavor you'd like for that? Like a small little forgotten corner of the city. What kind of spot would it be?
It would probably it probably would be a fountain, a long, maybe dried out fountain that I could restore. You know, the closest thing to having running, flowing water that could connect me with my patron.
Got it.
Old
Okay.
busted mossy fountain.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Cobweb. Just in the corners like
Mossy.
nobody uses.
That's
Cobwebs.
that's the perfect description, you know, trying to get the closest thing to water or running water.
What do you think the image should be? Because the fountain basically has to have an image. What do you think it should be? Like the bus, you know how like some fountains have like Cupid spouting out water or peeing out water.
Yeah.
What I'm imagining is, you know, like those multi-leveled fountains that has one ring and then another ring further in and then another smaller
Mhm.
ring and it keeps going up to the top to the spout.
Yes.
That's what I'm imagining.
Okay. Like Palace of Versailles, kind of. It's relatively fancy and has multi-tiered going on here.
Yeah, and the spout at the top is what shoots the water into each of the smaller rings. And it kind of makes sense considering Sigil's one giant ring.
Yeah. And we have
that's it.
rings within rings. It's a metaphor.
This was all a dream,
Loopy.
guys.
Exactly. So, we go into our first scene. The hearty and handsome Hammer is strolling down one of the dock sides in Sigil, looking at. So this is like a combination dock, like shipyard. Like they make ships here, they sell ships. You know, interplanar mariners are hanging out here, and so you're starting to explore. Make me a perception check.
Ooh, I forget if I'm good at those or not. It's been so long.
I kind of hope you're bad because it's funnier, but let's see.
I'm decent.
Oh, that's really good.
Hey, decent enough.
So you see a little flicker just to your left. You're not a spellcaster. Are you a spellcaster? No.
I am a spellcaster.
Right, you're a warlock.
Warlock.
Duh. A warlock. Brain. Patron. I was paying attention. Make me an Arcana check as well. So you've noticed a little thing. Do you know what it is?
Do I know what it is? Oh my god.
Oh.
Super don't. So it's weird and creepy. Would you approach it or jump back from it? Like, what's your instant reaction seeing weird thing flicker beside you?
This city is weird. I've been here for a while. This place is strange. People are popping out of doors that are just showing up out of nowhere. This is probably another one of those doors. I think I would probably my focus would be split. I would be paying attention to the docks looking for boats and then
Mm-hmm.
with like one half and then the other half would be keeping an eye on the little flicker.
Okay, but you're not explicitly jumping away. Okay, great.
I'm not jumping away, but I'm not necessarily getting closer.
Got it. Holding your ground. So the small flicker of light, over a period of about 3 seconds, rips into a larger tear. It looks like it's being pulled apart by thousands of tiny fingers that keep dissolving and reforming into ash as they start to solidify into an inky expanse. And someone you don't recognize, Ashael, tumbles through, and let's have an acrobatics check to land safely on the streets of Sigil as you tumble out of this tear.
9.
Doof. Ow. So this creature lands in front of you and tumbles and does take a bit of bludgeoning damage. Ow. Poor Shael. She's taken damage twice already.
We're not even
Shael,
in combat, man.
This is going to go well. I see nothing but upside. What does Hammer's character see, Quashi, of Shael as she kind of crumpled? Like, what would she look like? What would his
It's
first impression be?
it's honestly been a long time. This is accurate because even Hammer would not remember this. It's been a long time because Hammer and Shale were in a mission together. They adventured at one point, but it's been so long that he doesn't even remember.
So, what's the visual here for us, Quashi? What does she look like?
Well, she is undead. She's a hollow one, so most of the time her skin is very pale. She's not rotten or motley. She just has like a pale visage most of the time. She is an elf. She's a moon elf, in fact, at that. So she has raven dark hair. Her eyes are just permanent glowing white. She's about 6 feet tall, and I think that should pretty much be it. She wears, actually, her description is right what I chose from the picture. She basically wears like explorer's clothes, and most of the time that will be it, I think. That should be it right about now.
Cool. And how would you react to having just tumbled through? I mean, I don't think you would know that you're in Sigil yet. You're in some strange place, and there's a
Yeah.
Warforged in front of you. You just fell out of this portal. What would you say or do?
Well, she would basically tumble out, I guess, like falling up. She wouldn't fall face down, she would just kind of roll as she tumbles, and
Mhm.
she would just blow. It's like, traveling, having my best feet. And she would look up at the Warforged all like, well, at least I got where I needed to go. Hey, buddy, how's life?
And what does Hammer say?
Do you want me to describe what Hammer looks like?
Yeah, might as
Yeah.
well for our audience.
Yeah, so Hammer standing there before you as you come tumbling out is this large 7 foot 700-pound giant juggernaut of a Warforged. Um he's essentially a big daddy out of BioShock.
Nice.
So he's the way I've written him at least is he's like a soul who is trapped inside of this large diver's suit.
Oh, neat. That's very cool.
So he has kind of reddish armor, or his body is reddish. He has it's kind of shiny. It's seen its wear from the ocean, and he has a single slit where his eye is that is a constantly scanning dark red like bead of light going back and forth.
Oh, very cool. And yeah, what would you say to Shia? Would you recognize Shia? What would you say to her?
Do you want me to like roll maybe a history check to see if I recognize?
Sure. That seems reasonable.
Hey.
You're like, oh, Shia. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's you. We've missed out on so much together.
So I'm remembered. She dusts herself off. Anyway, I was just napping after a period of time. Got off on a couple adventures. Made some money and all that. And then all of a sudden, something just slips into my brain, telling me to come down here. Patron guy. He could have been a bit more nice about his request, but dragged me off to the sea, shuttered me out into this place again. So I'm basically here to break. And to be fair, he did offer me power, so at least that's the upside, and that is an incentive.
What languages does Shale speak or understand?
That is a good question. Shows Common, Elvish, and that's about it.
Oh,
For some
you
reason.
don't know Abyssal. That's a shame.
What languages does Hammer know?
Common and Abyssal. If you knew Abyssal, I would be speaking only in Abyssal.
Oh.
But you know what? It's fine. I can still flavor it. In
That's one of Abyssal swears.
in response,
Yep.
what was that? Quashi, were you saying something?
No, my sister was talking to me. Sorry,
Okay.
I was just.
In
All good.
response to Shale, you would hear a lot of creaking sounds and sounds of what sounds like cogs moving. sounds of mechanical apparatuses going off, and that's basically how Hammer speaks. He doesn't actually speak, but the cogs and mechanics of his suit kind of speak for him. And
Nice.
Okay.
and he responds with, "Okay, well now you know Abyssal, so it works. I could." The cogs speak
I
Abyssal.
completely had that. Yes.
So
That's going to be very helpful for some important reasons later.
he would speak to you in Abyssal then, and the cogs
Mhm.
still moving and speaking through him, and he would respond with, "So you got my message then?"
Oh yeah, face full of it. You know, for days. But yeah, I got the message. How about next time you make the message a little more, less tentacles and a bit more friendly? Okay, boys. Anyways, what have you been up to?
I have been stuck here.
Well, obviously, but you had to have something that occupied your time during all of this. Been here for a long time.
Have been attempting to set a foothold for my patron.
Yeah, more places for that scary thing to set foot in. That's not concerning, but okay, we'll go with that.
You see through, when you say that, you see through little slots in his armor where it kind of separates through wear and tear. Some blackish, purplish tentacles start crawling out of it and then zip right back in.
Shia is just gonna look at it and just kind of shudders in with me tentacles. Not a fun sight. I just finished a mind flare the last time. Tentacles are not on my to-do list right about now. So you just keep all of that inside of you. Of course.
Tentacles and feet. They
Keep
are
it inside of you. Yeah.
Keep it in your pants and just like, okay,
Oh,
tentacles
you
just come
went
out
there. You
now.
had to go there, huh? You really went there.
But it was true. It was gonna go there eventually. He just brought out tentacles.
No game is safe.
No
Rule
game is
34.
sacred.
Oh God.
Yeah, of course it is.
Excellent. And what would Hammer say to Shiel about like what he's currently doing? So you're down the docks looking for a boat. Like, do you ask for help? Or are you keeping this a secret? Like, what about that idea?
He would fully explain that he's trying to set a foothold in Sigil. If he couldn't contact anyone through his patron, setting a foothold and getting power in Sigil would have been his essentially backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
He still wants to set it up because better safe than sorry. But now that Shale's here, that's his ticket out of this place.
Got it.
I mean, if we want to get here and back, that would be pretty cool because we can basically just create like a portal later on if we want to Sigil. So in the off chance that anybody else gets their ass strapped there, we could always bring them back. That, and I think having a portal to a next extra dimensional plane would be kind of funny.
If you assist me before we go in setting up my shrine, my
Oh, sure, of course, buddy.
our patron. It's now our patron. Whoops.
The patron.
It's like
my patron.
yeah, sure, our patron. I mean, he did rope me into this, so I guess I do work for him now.
My patron.
Just no benefits.
My patron would be able to set up a staging ground in Sigil for us, should we ever need to return.
Yeah, okay. So I'm guessing we're using the fountain, right? Am I correct?
I would show him to the fountain that I found.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's resolve fountain in a minute. So I want to give you guys a scene of where you're down on the docks.
Yep.
So I'm going to presume that you guys have been chatting for 3 or 4 minutes, and I'll briefly say that kind of behind you along these docks there is an ironclad. So it's like a Civil War era like metal ship designed to go over water. It's got like cannons and things. It looks very steampunky. There is some kind of elven ship. So does it fly? Does it float? Does it collapse like origami into nothing? Like it looks either very delicate or very sturdy. It's hard to tell. I'm thinking like the architecture of Rivendell, that kind of grace and strength, but also if you go, it'll blow over.
Yeah.
It's got large sails, but the sails aren't oriented vertically like for a normal sailing ship. So is it being fixed? It's slightly weird, but also quite pretty. And then you also see, let me just scroll to it here. You see a really old kind of beat up fishing boat. So it's got nets and trawls. It's the smallest of the 3. And it's a little bit damaged. If you got close, it would smell. So those are the 3 kind of boats that are nearest to where you currently are on these docks. Any action or investigation you guys want to make towards any one of those 3?
I guess.
I
go
would,
first.
I would definitely, before telling about the, I guess explaining what I was doing here, I would definitely tell Shale that I was looking for a boat to get, as a ship would essentially be the closest thing to my patron I could get, as when I first encountered my patron, I was on a ship before I even had the powers. So I would explain that I was looking for a ship to be the closest thing, and I would say the one that is fully decked out with cannons and armor is the first thing that I kind of go to.
Windmill
Shale.
Slam Ironclad.
Yeah. Shale's just gonna look up to it and just be like, huh, so that one, huh? Well, I guess we can try to get it. It's gonna be kind of hard though, but I think with some quick wit, I could be able to pull it off. What do you think, big guy?
It's like what I used to sail back home.
Awesome. So yeah, I guess the main objective is getting that big boat.
Nice. And you can see in front of the, I'll say gangway or whatever, there's kind of a plank of wood leading from the dock to where this boat is. It is guarded by a large dragonborn and a large orc. So it's got 2 kind of beefy bouncer types that are guarding its entrance. And as you look that way, I need you both. Actually, what's your passive perception?
Both of us? Let's see.
Mine is a nice 12.
Okay.
Mine is 13.
13. Okay, so you both notice, in a lane kind of behind you, so maybe about 10 or so meters behind you, you hear a commotion. Clearly some people running and sprinting. As you turn, you see 3 figures that are kind of cloaked in black cloaks, running at top speed. One clutches a bag, one has kind of a scepter, one doesn't appear to be carrying anything. It's hard to tell. They're running quickly, and you hear behind them, kind of down a side road, loud voices, one of which is, "Stop! Stop, thief! They've stolen from the museum!" Do you try to intervene in any way?
I have an interesting question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How far is this happening from us?
About 10
Yeah.
meters. That's about 30 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
They're stealing from the museum. Can I, if possible, maybe, seeing them running out, clutching items? Maybe, I might not be able to see the items, in entirety, but can I maybe do an Arcana check to see if I can feel any magical presences from the items that they're running with?
Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely.
Can I help?
Sure. Yes, you can help. So Shael touches Hammer on the shoulder, and you feel magical energy course through you. So yeah, the rod is definitely magical. It's kind of it's glowing a bit anyways in the visible spectrum. It's yes, That's magical. It glows with plot energy.
Nice.
And the
Okay.
sack is probably also magical. You don't see
Okay.
anything specifically magical about the third figure. Like it's not like their boots are glowing or whatever. But there's definitely a strong sense of power there. So these are powerful and probably dangerous individuals. Is the information you
Okay.
get?
So they're still like in 10 feet, 20 feet around us, right? About us, right?
10 meters, 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay, I'm gonna use momentary stasis to try and stop the one in the middle.
Okie doke.
If they were any closer,
You would tentacle them, absolutely.
lightning
Da, da,
lure.
da.
That's so good.
Okay. What is the spell save DC I'm looking for?
That would be 14, and that fails.
I got a 7. So the person in the middle is frozen to a stop. Let me just read. Incapacitated, has a speed of 0. Excellent. So the person in front looks back and keeps running. The person with the rod. The person in third, stops for a half second to try and shake this person, but they're not moving, so they're running forward, abandoning their second comrade. So that was an action from Kwashi. Let's just, for tracking purposes, do some initiative. I guess we don't have tokens, do we? Yes, we do. Let me drag those on. There's a Kwashi. Pie guy. And there's a Kwashi.
Initiative fun. Oh, that's real fun. If only this was my barbarian. I'd have
Right,
advantage
have
on
to bring
initiative.
token.
If only. And go ahead and roll initiative for yourself as
Oh, there.
well, Mr. Kwashi.
17.
17. I will add that in.
Oh wow, that was really delayed on roll 20. That was weird.
That was a bit late. I don't know why. Okay. So the first and third thief have run forward. The second one is still trapped by your magic. What do you want to do?
Okay, so I know that magic only lasts for a short period of time. I'm guessing he's wearing clothes, right?
Correct. He is wearing clothes. He's wearing a cloak.
Okay.
You can definitely see
I
that.
mean, yeah, so I'm going to cast immovable object, and I'm going to touch his cloak so he will not be able to move. He just stays his ass right there.
Okay. La la la.
I think, that will be the end of my turn.
Okay, so he is
That
fixed
was
in place.
insane.
He's stuck into his clothes. Nice. So he's next. I don't think I get to make a check. Let's see here. Can you use an action to make a
Nah, you
strength check to move
Yeah,
10
you can.
feet? So he will do that.
Yeah,
That is a doof.
that fails.
One of his friends. Ooh. Yes, that's exactly what's happening. Ha ha ha. So this is happening. So his friends that have run on, one of them turns back and tries to shoot at his friend with a hand crossbow and misses. So that just goes into a wall. His other friend, the one with the rod, points the rod towards you guys, or towards actually the friend, and he's doing some magic missile. And he's targeting all three. Well, how does this make sense? Let's have you both as a reaction. You can choose to respond to what I'm about to say, and we'll see how it plays out. Does that make sense?
Why is there an invisible
Sure.
square over me? Why is my token invisible? I don't
Wait, what?
My token is invisible for me. I'm gonna try and drag and drop him again.
Yeah, that's weird.
There
Okay.
he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Okay then.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the map.
I see what happened.
Yeah.
My bad. I put you behind the map. Fun. So yes, so I'm going to describe what's happening here, and then you guys can use your reaction to do something about it if you wish. The lead bandit fires magic missile back. All three are arcing towards the bag that thief number 2 is holding. Any actions you guys want to take as a reaction?
At the one that I froze, right?
Correct. And you can see, because you're close, that the guy who's frozen, his eyes are wide with terror.
Okay, so I guess that's probably something that we don't want. So I am going to use on a spell.
Nice.
Ooh, that is pretty good.
That is very good.
Just looks at him as just like, I see. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm guessing by the expression of your friend there, it's not going to be something good for us. So, boop.
Okay, and that is the end of his turn. So the magic missiles are counterspelled. What is Quashi doing? Sorry,
that's
hi guy.
yeah.
What is Hammer doing?
So this guy right here is frozen, right?
Correct.
How far away
I'll
are
go
his
ahead and
buddies?
About 60 feet.
About 60.
So they kind of did their full move, and then each did an action. So a hand crossbow and a magic missile was what they each did.
Okay. Let's see here. I have some.
So this guy is immobilized. This guy can do magic. Gets a purple dot. They're over further along.
So which ones is the real us? Are we here or are we here and here?
This isn't super representational, but let's just remove the duplicates.
Okay, so this is us.
And you've touched this guy, and you're near here.
All right.
Mhm.
So at the one that just ever so kindly threw some magic at us, I would channel the power of my patron and kablooey and hope that a 12 hits him.
Let's find out. 12 is a miss to his AC, sadly.
Dang. And the way I flavor it for Hammer is it basically his arm, his hand, his fist kind of goes inside of his arm, and it kind of cyborg cannons, like from Teen Titans, and he just blasts the Eldritch Blast out from his cannon.
Nice. I like that. Just straight on through. Cool. So that is the end of the round. I will need to pause it here. I've got to get back to work. My lunch break is ending. When should we continue?
Guess around.
I'm looking at next week. What is next week looking like for you guys?
It's basically the same for me.
Yep, basically
I don't
the
really
same.
have much. Yeah.
Okie doke. Brain. How about sometime Wednesday?
Let's see. Schedule for Wednesday.
February 3.
I don't think I have anything going on.
February, Wednesday. Oh yeah, Wednesday is all right. If anything, I could end earlier because it's just. Oh yeah, I can't remember. That would be what for y'all? But I think it's 8:00 where y'all would be. I would be basically finishing work around
at
that
8
time.
a.m. Pacific, you mean?
Yeah, 8 a.m. Pacific should be when
Okay.
I am supposed to finish work. So that's it. That's 9, 10, 11, 12.
Let's plan on 9:30 a.m. Pacific, and we can go for maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
Sure. I have no problem with that.
Okay. I will post it in our chat.
And I guess in guild fashion, we should all probably say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Stay
Adios,
golden.
YouTube.
Or something.
Yeah, stay
Hi, guys. Do you have a call out that we do?
Goodbye, YouTube. Next week I'll come up with something.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's your homework.
All right.